So the spasticated Matt Reeves Batman crime saga, The Penguin TV show, has won multiple Emmys. And on top of that, people are hyped for the gay Batman Part 2 starring Kurt Cobain. And I can safely say that not only is this whole retarded saga woke, but it's also massively overrated. But before we get into it, if you like these type of videos and you want to help out the channel, maybe consider subscribing or supporting me over on Patreon. So as you can see, The Penguin has already won 8 Emmys, mainly for the score and the prosthetics and makeup. Now, I haven't watched The Penguin. I've already seen all the seasons of The Sopranos and I didn't really need to see another one. Colin Farrell, I don't really care if the guy's Irish. I think he sucks as an actor. People bitch and whine about Nolan taking away the comic book elements of Batman, but in this overrated portrayal of the Penguin, Matt Reeves changed the character's name from a real name that people actually have just because he thought it sounded too comic booky.
The shortening of the name from Oswald Cobblepot to Oz Cobbs, because some fans have noticed.
I can't 100% answer that, but because I don't know everything in Matt Reeves' mind. But I would say that largely we all kind of felt like Cobblepot wasn't a real person's name. It's like kind of felt like Cobblepot wasn't a real person's name. It's like it was kind of a silly name back in the day when that was okay, because it was a, you know, comic books for kids.
Fuck you!
If you're retarded and you can't see that Matt Reeves is going against the comics and all of the characters, then you might not really be a Batman, DC, or comic book fan. If you're not willing to stand up for these comic book characters who are being changed by shitty filmmakers who have not read the comics. Now, big anti-woke YouTubers are saying that The Penguin was one of the best things that DC has put out in the last 10 years. I don't really care for that whole anti-woke crowd. I think that they do a lot of grifting, and this is an example of it. The Batman and the Penguin were shit. They race-swapped characters, they made Batman some gay weak Nirvana listener filled with feminism and handicapped political inserts. Once again, if you can't see any of that, go screw yourself. Case in point, this professional retard, Jeffrey Wright, who already played a race-swap character in the Bond franchise, played Commissioner Jim Gordon, a character that he knows nothing about. A character that Frank Miller really defined in Batman Year One, making him a hard-boiled detective, and Jeffrey Wright did not play a hard-boiled detective in The Batman by Matt Reeves. Jim Gordon is canonically a redhead, so this is a stupid race swap. Stop whining about racism and go back to the hood. Next up on the chopping block of spastication, we have this Matt Reeves Batman fan account here. And just a little side note, all of these fan accounts for Superman, Batman, Fantastic Four are the absolute cesspools of cringe on Twitter. It's why I barely use it, because every time I open up the app, I see some paid retard who has never read a comic book in their life. But anyway, this moron says, imagine trying to put white eyes on this. Yeah, I don't know what your point is. I can imagine it pretty well, because Batman has always had white eyes. It's not some circumstantial thing where sometimes he has them and sometimes he doesn't. Every single episode of Batman the Animated Series, every single comic. So just because you like some retarded Twilight gay emo eyes crying every 3 seconds in the movie doesn't make it objectively good or accurate to the character of Batman. I should never see Batman's eyes or what emotions he's feeling. And that's the argument you'll hear. Look how good the emotion is and how good the acting is out of Robert Pattinson. I don't care if he's the best actor of all time. We don't need to see superheroes' eyes. Characters like Daredevil, Spider-Man, Batman, Wolverine don't show their eyes and face for a reason. Stop coping. This isn't an upgrade or comic accurate. I don't want to see some gay guy crying throughout the entire movie. And before I continue, I have to make it clear that I was a massive fan of The Batman by Matt Reeves. When it came out, I saw it in theaters like 3 times. And the reason was because I'm a massive fan of film noir and hard-boiled detective noir fiction. And at the time, The Batman was the closest we've gotten to that in recent years. And there's still stuff in that movie that I really like. Now, all my criticisms still stand. It's not comic accurate. Batman is some gay dude who cries and listens to Nirvana. And the race swaps and all that stuff is still trash.
Are these white privileged assholes?
But hidden behind all that, there is a good movie in there somewhere, in the rain-soaked Gotham where Batman Batman is actually a detective. And that takes us to this tweet, which was the subject of some controversy because a lot of people are fake fans who do not understand noir or hard-boiled fiction because these people don't really read books or watch old movies. Which, side note, that isn't really a hard thing to do. All you have to do is kind of use your brain. But some guy posted up some shots from the Batman saying the world's greatest detective. And yeah, I think this looks good and maybe even better than the original because it fits the tone of the noir kind of tone that the film was trying to go for. With the voiceover and the rain and the investigation and the femme fatale, even though she was race swapped. And this person here, who I've seen before having some really woke and special needs takes all across Twitter, actually says something good for once. Genuinely surprised that there's not a black and white version of this movie. It literally seems like a no-brainer. And I'm not even able to read all of them out because there's just so many retards who took offense to this, saying that why would you ever drain the color out of this masterpiece? Why would you ever put it in black and white? And the original poster had to actually say it that, yeah, the movie was kind of a detective movie. That's why I said it should be in black and white. You know, like the way a detective movie would be. And of course, these people don't know what any of that means. All of these bots are incapable of watching something that came out before the year 1990. They have no recollection of Humphrey Bogart, Robert Mitchum, Raymond Chandler or Mickey Spillane, Dashiell Hammett novels with Sam Spade. People in this generation literally don't know anything about that. It's why they're incapable of liking movies like Dirty Harry, Cobra, Sin City, because a lot of movies and works that came out in the 70s, 80s and even now today, like The Batman, are tributing classic noir fiction and movies. And to be honest, I'm kind of sick of trying to explain all this shit. You either know about it or you're retarded. And also, since the very beginning to the Frank Miller, Denny O'Neil comics, the entirety of Batman the Animated Series and Mask of the Phantasm, Batman has always been a noir character and world. And some fake fans just can't understand that. Moving on, once again, somebody tries to say something that is actually comic accurate and gets attacked for it. This guy edited the Batman suit to make it the actual colors of Batman's costume, which in my opinion looks way better than the actual suit that they used in the movie. If they do something like this in the Batman Part 2, I will give them credit. But once again, you have armies of people attacking people who actually want Batman to look and be in a world like Batman. Everything woke, race swapped and gay is peak and fire, and everything like this, or the last post that wanted Batman to be in black and white like a noir, is mid and corny and goofy because these people do not understand the character. And I'm gonna end this off with some majorly handicapped cringe. Greatest show don't tell moment in all of comic book cinema. Now I'm sure other movies had great show don't tell moments, but apparently this is the best one of all time. Yeah, so instead of giving Batman an actual backstory or revealing it over time, we just destroy the legacy of Batman's parents and include a scene like this, where he stares like an autistic gay. That's the end of the line for the entire argument. These movies and TV shows, no matter how many awards they win, are not comic accurate. People like this who don't like the black and white noir look or the wide eyes or the blue suit are not real comic book Batman or DC fans. Oh yeah, and finally, Batman is Bruce Wayne. He's not some weak homo who cries his eyes out at every single thing he sees. The Robert Pattinson, Matt Reeves Batman crime saga is entirely and absolutely retarded, and if you don't like that, go screw yourself. If you're a real Batman fan and if you agreed with anything I said in this video, do let me know and maybe consider subscribing. And if you got a problem, go complain to your boyfriend.